He makes the decision, and he sends an email to the Director General that I have passed the drug, and the company is happy. You know, they're putting all this in writing. Send an email, the company is happy, and I promised them that I'll make up for it in the next submission for the hard time they received from the scientists. And the Director General writes back to him, thanks. I hope you didn't promise them the moon though. Cheers. In writing. This is the time the farmers in Canada and Canadian public have now learned that the bovine growth hormone is genetically modified, and it's the dangerous thing you're doing. It will harm the Canadian industry, Canadian dairy industry, and people's health. And the farmers say, we don't want it. We don't want to produce, we don't want to use this product. We are happy with what we have. We want to have clean, healthy milk to sell. But the company is putting pressure, no, that they should use it, they should produce more milk, it'll give more profit to the farmers, and the farmers say, we don't want more profit. And people then, farmers, Council of Canadians, the Sierra Club, Canadian Health Coalition, these are now hundreds of thousands of Canadians. They start writing to Parliament, House of Commons, the Senate. Ultimately, the Senate Agriculture Committee takes this up. And while this is happening inside Health Canada, 6 of us file complaints. We take the matter up with our union. This is 1997. And our president writes to the Prime Minister Chrétien at that time, that this is horrible what's happening. This deregulation has been going on more and more intensely since the days of Mulroney. Now we are under Chrétien, and even mad cow disease could occur in Canada. 1997, we said it could happen. You're playing Russian roulette with people's health. Don't do that. Nobody responds. Prime Minister doesn't respond. The Minister of Health, Alan Rock, doesn't respond. The clerk doesn't respond, and we keep on saying this. Finally, we took this matter, went out to the adjudication board, called the Public Service Staff Relations Board then, and the case is heard there. And the case was that we're being pressured and coerced and pressured to pass drugs of questionable safety. We want somebody to listen, some court to, somebody to pay attention to what's happening through us to the health of Canadians. They hear it, they said, but we have no jurisdiction to rule on this matter. The court has no jurisdiction to rule on the public safety issue. When I tried to talk about it before the Canadian Human Rights Tribunal, they said, we don't have jurisdiction over that. We can only talk about racism. The other one says we only talk about whatever else is happening to you, but we can't talk about, we don't have any mandate to talk about public safety. We say, well, where do we go? We've written to the Prime Minister, we've written to the clerk, well, where do we go? And this becomes public. And finally, inside the department, we were 2 days away from the bovine growth hormone getting passed. Nobody's talking to us. And our Director General has gone to make this deal or announcement in Geneva at a WHO committee called the Codex Alimentarius. Meanwhile, as the news broke loose here, the farmers sent faxes to Geneva, and the committee in Geneva cancels the meeting because it's become public. So they send everybody home. All countries home, go back and bring actual scientific facts. The Director General comes back, gathers us, and he's pounding on the table. There is no way to work. I have to hear about you guys in Geneva. So I was there, of course, and I'm saying, George, don't blame these people. I'm the one who went public. And I'm telling you, I'm going to do it again and again and again until it stops. You want to pass it, you pass it. Don't put our name on it that we have said this is safe for humans. We are telling you this is not safe for humans. We have not been able to determine that. You want to say to the minister that you're making that decision, go ahead, but don't put our name on it. Because you're not talking to us. Then I said to him, just to say, I said, why do you want to take that risk? Why didn't you give this file to a couple of people in the department? We will look at everything and we will report within 6 weeks or so and say, if everything is fine, go ahead, pass it. But if there are any gaps, then we have to look at it. So he said, who will do it? I wasn't going to offer. Nobody else volunteered. Now he said, what do I do? It's your suggestion. I said, well, you're the Director General. You order somebody. If you want me to do it, yeah, sure, I'll do it then. So, okay, you do it. I said, here's my condition though. I'm not going to do it alone. The entire Human Safety Division, including the chief, will all do it together so that you don't say that I have a bias or I made it up and so on, and this is the way we're going to do it. He said, okay. So we go out to find gaps. Now they won't give us the files, all the files. We had to spend several weeks, and we said we want to record, they want to allow us to tape record our meetings and this, and you know, big fights inside. Eventually, we had our way. 4 people now, 2 brought in from the outside, did this, and we wrote this report. It was called Gaps Analysis. When the report comes out, in that report, we put down everything and everybody's name, who did what. And then, while we were doing that, all the questions that I had asked back in 1988 had been answered, and they were all positive. Insulin was affected, thyroid was affected, ovary we didn't know because they only used male rats, and the antibody was produced. So I said, this is horrible. If we start using this hormone, that means we will be drinking pus in the milk, and people will have serious harm. There will be superbugs, all kinds of things. We wrote in the report. All 4 of us signed. Now it became a problem. They said, we didn't ask you to write the report this way. A new director is brought in, and he says to us, I want you to change the report. Remove all names, and you should be thinking of your scientific careers. I said, can you put that in writing? He said, sure. How stupid can they be? He wrote it. And he wrote that we should be thinking of our scientific careers.